story takes place in Sierra Leone in 1999, during a violent civil war. A local fisherman named Solomon Vandy lives peacefully in a village called Shenge with his family. One day, while Solomon is walking with his son Dia, their village is suddenly attacked by armed fighters from a rebel group called the Revolutionary United Front. In the chaos, Solomon's wife Jassy and the rest of the family manage to escape, but Solomon remains unlucky and is captured by the rebels. All the men who survived the attack are gathered together. The brutal rebel leader, known as Captain Poison, tells them they are not allowed to vote. Many of the captives lose their hands. Luckily, Solomon is spared, and the rebels take him and force him to work in a diamond mine, which is controlled by Captain Poison. After that, we see some men, including a businessman named Rudolf van de Kapp, talking about the diamond business. They explain how these diamonds are used to fund the brutal civil war in Sierra Leone. Later, a man named Danny Archer, who used to be a soldier in the South African border war, shows up. Now, he works as a diamond smuggler. He buys diamonds from rebels and sells them for profit. He tries to take the diamonds, hidden under the skin of goats, into Liberia. But the soldiers stopped him and found the diamonds, which were meant for a mining businessman named Rudolf van de Kapp. Danny tries to talk his way out and mentions that he knows Colonel Coetzee, but the soldiers arrest him. One morning, Solomon is working near the river. As he digs, he finds a huge and rare pink diamond. He immediately knows this stone is worth his fortune. Captain Poison also sees the diamond and wants to take it for himself. But suddenly, government soldiers arrive and attack there. Everything becomes chaotic. Solomon quickly hides the diamond in the ground. Right after that, the soldiers arrest Solomon and Captain Poison. Both of them are taken to a prison in the city of Freetown. Later in the prison, Danny, Solomon, and Captain Poison are all there. Captain Poison keeps asking Solomon about the pink diamond. Danny hears about the pink diamond from Captain Poison. Captain Poison tells the other men that he will give $1,000 to anyone who can take the diamond from Solomon's body. Danny understands the diamond is valuable, so he quickly makes a plan to get himself and Solomon out of prison. The plan works, and now both are free. After that, Danny comes across a journalist named Maddie Bowen. She is from America and is working on her big report. Her goal is to find out how diamonds are being smuggled out of Sierra Leone. She discovers, even though Sierra Leone is rich in diamonds, it has not exported any in the last 2 years. But next door, Liberia, a country with no real diamond mines, has somehow exported $2 billion worth of diamonds. Maddie knows something is not right. She also believes Danny is involved in this illegal trade. He works with a company called Van de Kapp and helps move diamonds from war zones. Maddie wants him to help her uncover the truth behind this illegal blood diamond trade. Meanwhile, Danny Archer travels to Cape Town, South Africa. There he meets his boss, Colonel Coetzee. Coetzee is a white Afrikaner who once served in the South African Defense Force during apartheid. Now he runs a private military company. Danny wants to use the pink diamond to escape Africa and start a new life somewhere safe, but Coetzee has different plans. He demands the diamond as payment because Danny's last smuggling mission failed and cost him money. Even though Danny doesn't agree, he knows he has no choice. He must return to Sierra Leone. He offers to help him search for his missing family. In return, he wants Solomon to lead him back to the place where the pink diamond is hidden. At the same time, the civil war grows worse. The rebels continue their attacks and soon capture Freetown, the capital city. During the chaos, Solomon's young son, Dia, is taken by the rebels. Captain Poison, who has escaped from prison, returns to power and begins training the kidnapped children for war. The children are going through harsh training. They are brainwashed and forced to become child soldiers. Dia is also appointed as commander of the child army. Danny talks with Solomon again about the diamond. He reminds Solomon that he helped him escape from prison and promises to help find his family. But before they can make any more plans, a fight breaks out between the rebels and the army. The rebels eventually win the battle. That night, the whole city burns while the rebels celebrate their victory. Danny and Solomon manage to escape the city and reach the town of Lungi. They now plan to go to Kono, the place where the diamond is buried. They get help from the American journalist Maddie Bowen. Danny agrees to give her evidence of the illegal diamond trade in return for her support. He wants her to help Solomon find his family in return. Maddie is already working on exposing how diamonds from war zones are being smuggled and sold. She checks United Nations records and finally finds Solomon's family living in a refugee camp in Guinea. After that, they walk together to a refugee camp in Guinea. Maddie hands a paper with their names to a soldier at the entrance. Through the fence, she takes pictures while Solomon eventually finds his wife and the rest of his family. They run toward the fence and stretch out their hands to hold on to each other. At the same time, his son Dia is still in Sierra Leone, being held by the rebels. After this emotional and heartbreaking moment, Solomon sits inside a helicopter with Maddie and Danny, looking deeply saddened. His family cannot leave the refugee camp until the war finally ends. Solomon tells Danny that the diamond is buried nearby. Danny walks over to Maddie and they start to argue. Maddie feels annoyed because Maddie knows that without solid proof, like witnesses, photos, documents, and bank account records, her report is just a story, not a truth. She cannot expose the blood diamond trade unless she has real evidence. Danny explains how the diamonds are smuggled through different countries. He also reveals that Van de Ka controls the entire diamond market. He promises to give her everything she needs for her report, but before that, he wants to find and sell the pink diamond. He hopes to use the money to escape Africa and leave behind his current life. Soon after, Danny, Solomon, and Maddie set off on a long and dangerous journey to Kono. They get on a bus with other journalists, accompanied by an army escort. Suddenly, rebels attack them. In the chaos, Solomon quickly jumps into a car with Danny and the others, and they drive away from there. But Danny's car is also attacked. The driver is shot dead, and many of the journalists are killed in the crossfire. Danny pushes the driver's body out of the seat and takes over, trying to escape while being chased by the rebels. After a fast and dangerous chase, the car finally crashes near a forest. Danny, Maddie, and Solomon jump out and run into the trees, escaping the rebels behind them. They are soon watched by local militia who look serious and dangerous. Maddie stays calm and manages to speak with them politely. She even takes a selfie with them to break the tension. Their leader, Ubani, agrees to help and guides them safely through the forest. After walking for some time, they reach a small aid center hidden in the woods. This aid center is managed by an NGO that rescues children who were once forced to fight as soldiers. Many of these children have suffered terrible injuries. Some have even lost their hands during the war. A man named Benjamin tries his best to help Danny, Maddie, and Solomon, offering them help. The next day, while driving them closer to Kono, Benjamin is shot and killed. Even after this tragic loss, they continue their journey forward. Finally, they reach Kono, which is now under the control of Colonel Kutsia, whose private army has been deployed there. The government of Sierra Leone has hired them to put an end to the rebel attacks. As Maddie gets ready to leave Sierra Leone with her completed report, Danny gives her his personal diary, which contains all the evidence, including names, contact numbers, and important details about the illegal diamond trade. He makes sure she boards a plane and leaves safely. Maddie gives him her number and takes his photo before flying out, showing a sparking connection between them. After that, Danny and Solomon begin their final journey alone. They head deep into rebel-controlled territory, moving cautiously toward Captain Poison's camp. To stay hidden, they carefully avoid the private army now under the command of Colonel Kotsi, who is working for the government. Meanwhile, Solomon is focused on only one thing: finding his son, Dia. During their journey, he keeps stopping to check every rebel patrol they pass, hoping to find Dia among the child soldiers. Danny starts to understand that Solomon is driven by deep guilt. He feels he failed his son and is ready to risk his life to set things right. Eventually, they reach a remote diamond mine, the same place where Solomon once buried the rare pink diamond. To their surprise, Dia is stationed at the mine as a child soldier under the rebels. When Solomon sees him, he tries to reach out, but Dia doesn't recognize him. The brainwashing has taken hold, and Dia refuses to accept that Solomon is his father. Before Solomon can do anything more, Captain Poison captures him and demands the pink diamond. Acting quickly, Danny radios the mine's coordinates to Colonel Kotsu, who launches a full-scale attack with his private army by land and air. Explosions tear through the camp as the rebels try to hold their ground. Amid the chaos, Solomon manages to escape and finds Captain Poison. Fueled by pain and anger, he kills him with a shovel as the soldiers begin to win the fight. After the fight, Kutsie lands at the mine and demands the pink diamond for himself. But Danny knows exactly how dangerous Kutsie is. Realizing the danger, he steps forward and offers to help, putting himself at risk to protect Solomon and Dia. Later, they reach the location where the pink diamond is buried. Solomon begins to dig the diamond. At that moment, Danny takes action and shoots Kutsie dead on the spot. As they attempt to escape, Dia points a gun at them. He hesitates, feeling confused about who he should trust. In this tense moment, Solomon speaks, reminding Dia of who he truly is, their home, and the family waiting for him. Slowly, Dia begins to remember his life and his brainwashing fades away. Meanwhile, Danny reaches out to his pilot and calls for an immediate arrival. Just as they prepare to flee, Danny reveals that he's been badly injured in the fight. He knows he won't survive. He gives back the pink diamond to Solomon and tells him to use it to save his family. He also warns Solomon not to trust the pilot and gives him a gun for protection. Then, with no time to lose, he tells Solomon to take Dia and escape while he stays behind to protect them. Solomon and Dia make it to Danny's pilot, who flies them to safety. Meanwhile, Danny makes one final phone call to Maddie. Danny tells her where to meet Solomon and he says his final goodbye and tells her he is glad they met. He gives her permission to write her full report using all the information and evidence he has given or shared with her. After the call, Danny leans back, looking out over the African land he once dreamed of leaving. In that quiet moment, he takes his final breath and dies peacefully. Later, Solomon arrives in London. He meets a man named Simmons, who works for the company Van de Kopp. Solomon gives him the pink diamond. In return, he gets a large amount of money and a promise that his whole family will be brought to London safely. As part of the deal, Solomon is finally reunited with his wife and children. Maddie is also there and takes pictures of the diamond exchange for her report. Her article tells the world about Van de Kopp's crimes and shows how deep the corruption is in the blood diamond trade. Solomon reads her article in a magazine, which includes a photo of Danny. At the end, Maddie smiles as Solomon walks into a room full of journalists, ready to share his story.